Amazing phone, a true experience. This was probably my 6th time renting an apartment after graduating from university. Due to various reasons, such as changing jobs and the heavy burden of rent, I had to move frequently. That time, wanting to be closer to work, I found a 1-bedroom, 1-living-room apartment in the information market for only 400 yuan in rent. Excuse me. Hello. You have a room for rent, don't you? The price was incredibly suitable, so I called the landlord. The apartment was in an old, dilapidated neighborhood. The landlord was an uncle in his 50s, with a stern expression. "Come in and have a look." He didn't say a word the whole way, just took me directly to the apartment, opened the door, and let me look around. "Bedroom, bathroom, you'll have to furnish the place yourself." What I didn't expect was that there was no furniture in the apartment, though the kitchen and bathroom were fully equipped. I symbolically glanced at each room. It wasn't completely empty. There was a guanyin image pasted on the bedroom wall. "Nothing in this room is to be moved." Perhaps seeing my gaze fall upon the guanyin image, the landlord emphasized that I wasn't allowed to touch it. So I rented the room, got a folding bed and a simple wardrobe from the second-hand market and moved in. What happened next? You probably can guess. That apartment was haunted. Bang! In the middle of the night, I was suddenly jolted awake by a loud bang, and the door swung open as if it had been forcefully pushed. I instantly sat upright, completely dazed at that moment. My mind was hazy, but it raced, trying to figure out what had happened. Was it the wind, or had someone entered? Bang! Before I could even figure it out, the door slammed shut with another bang. My first instinct was to check if it was the wind, but the bedroom window was securely closed. The bathroom had no window, and only the kitchen had a small one. I grabbed something to give me courage and opened the door. There was no furniture in the living room, nor any place for someone to hide. The kitchen window was also securely closed. I double-checked. The door was locked from the inside, so it was impossible for anyone to have entered. After searching around and finding nothing, I returned to the bedroom. Then I discovered the only change in the room. That was, a corner of the guanyin image on the wall had peeled off. It was covering Guanyin's face. I didn't bother with it, returned to bed, and went back to sleep. Then I felt someone else in the room, but I couldn't wake up. I could discern a woman dressed in white, but I couldn't clearly see her face. She just stood there, doing nothing to me, and I couldn't move. I don't remember when I fell asleep, but when I woke up at dawn, my head was throbbing. My first reaction was to check if there was anything different about the spot where the woman had stood, but I couldn't find anything. Didn't you just experience sleep paralysis? Your apartment is definitely haunted. I was sluggish all day at work. When I told my colleague about it, he thought I had experienced sleep paralysis, and that the rented apartment was haunted. Having just paid the rent, I certainly couldn't move out. Besides feeling a bit surprised, there was nothing else. When I returned to that apartment after work, I felt a certain chill. I added another lock to the bedroom door and would fasten it when I went to sleep at night. I also glued the guanyin image back as my colleague had suggested. Then, I went to sleep as usual that night. Bang! Bang! At night, there would be sounds of something banging against the bedroom door. Bang! Bang! But I quickly got used to it and slept as usual. I lived there for a total of 7 months before I was able to move out. During that time, the frequency of minor illnesses and mishaps was higher than usual. My spirits were also lower than usual. What's worth noting is that the guanyin image in the room was visibly much more dilapidated than when I first moved in. When I checked out, the landlord even offered me a discount to stay, but I refused. If it weren't for my financial situation, I wouldn't have endured 7 months there. My experience was absolutely true.